What's up, guys? Just another day of live streaming and writing. So, if you've got questions or anything, post them in the comments. And other than that, we're just gonna hang out, I reckon. Oh, looks like we've got a viewer. Hello, hello. If you're just joining us, we're just kind of hanging out while I write. So, if you've got any questions or anything, just ask away. Mm-hmm. All right, now that all that's done, time to move on to work. Welcome, welcome, everyone. We're just kind of watching me write and fielding questions, so just come hang out with us. It's a lot of fun. Oh, starting to get some viewers now. Look at that. We're just kind of hanging out, guys. So if you're just joining us, feel free to come hang out. Hey there. Horror, mostly. Um, right now, I'm working on some horror short stories. Got to start working on my Halloween stories, too, before long. It's going to be another big year of Halloween stuff. So I've got to figure out what I'm going to do there. It's usually horror with me, though. Let's see. Subject wise, currently I'm writing about a therapist who is maybe a little too good at making problems disappear. That's pretty cool. If uh, if you're new to the channel, there's plenty of videos up there. By the way, um, we've been at this for about 5 years, so we've got lots of content. Hey, Miss Bave, doing pretty good. Oh yeah, definitely time to get some work done. I've got a couple of books. The latest one, actually, which I need to go get shipped, is it's about a guy trapped in an endlessly looping Dollar General. Kind of like a liminal backrooms kind of story. It did very well. Um, I wish more people would buy it, but the stories were very popular. But yeah, that's I don't know. Most of my stories seem to be short story collections here lately, but we come out with one about every year. Well, thanks, Misbehave. I tend to agree, but I don't know. I'm pretty happy with the acknowledgement I get from you guys. You guys make it all worthwhile, so I like my little community here. Though if it wants to get bigger, I certainly won't argue. Hmm. Psychic paranoid characters. Well, there was a story called Paranoid recently. It was again about a therapist, but they were doing Zoom therapy. Um, it turned out their paranoia wasn't so misguided. I think, actually, hang on, I'll link it for you. There you go. Well, you got to be a little bit humble to be a writer. I mean, if you get too full of yourself, then you're basically setting yourself up for failure. I like to stay humble. Like to stay blessed. It's definitely a good trait to have. Ooh, that does sound good. I swear, this is the biggest part of my job, it seems like, is cleaning up stories. That's what I get for using text to type too much. Yup, that's a good point, Misbehave. You've got to remember where your audience is and where you came from, or you're just setting yourself up for disaster. I mean, if your work is really good, I mean, it's okay to be proud of it, but you need to have some focus as well. You need to have some perspective, and it's always important to remember that your fans are the ones that got you there. Without them, there's no one to read your stuff. That is a heck of a sandwich. Man, if I hadn't just eaten like 3 eggs and like a pound of bacon, I'd probably be tempted to go get one myself. Oh, Lordy. I feel that. I went over to help my parents hook up a toilet early this morning, and my mom decided to feed me a giant breakfast, so I'm still pretty full. Doing pretty good, Hoss. We're just kind of hanging out. That's what these Tuesday, Thursday streams are mostly about, is just hanging out and watching me write while I work on something. It's a story about a therapist today. I think it's going to be next week's story. Um, should be a good one, I hope. Right now, I'm just cleaning it up. Most of what I do is use text to type to write my stories while I'm out doing DoorDash, which was really good last night. I made over $100 DoorDashing last night, which was pretty cool. Um, but it's definitely productive to be able to do two things at once. But text to type isn't really a big fan of my accent, so I end up having to go back and fix a half a dozen things. Your kingdom for a chicken cutlet sandwich for definite. Two chicken cutlet sandwiches. So much editing. You are correct. It's mostly the little things too, like the things that'll stand out while I'm doing a live stream and reading them. Like, and I hate having to pause to fix things every 5 minutes. Osiris, welcome. Oh, that would be good. Some days it's like that, misbehave. Oh yeah, there's a lot of syntax surgery going on apparently. Cindy, hi, good morning. Glad you guys could make it. Hello, Cindy. Good morning, morning. Oh yeah. That's what I like about these live streams is you guys kind of get in here and create a little community togetherness and it's always nice. Well, we're glad you did. It's always nice to see new faces in here and see old faces and see everybody. I can't believe that Blondie's not here yet. She usually beats us to it. Oh yeah, so does Leah too. I had meant to ask her. I needed to get permission for that story that she sent me for the contest. I had it, and then it seems to have kicked me out. That's very niche, but I could see making a story out of that. I feel that, Osiris. I'm uh I'm not quite awake myself. I did have a couple of stories about janitors working in like science labs and stuff. I really need to start working on those again. I don't know. It's always kind of been like that. It that's just kind of sits there. Who, me? No, this is my Dr. Plague shirt. I got it from Spencer's. It says I am plagued with problems. um Usually I put it a little bit further away there, Hoss, but I think as I moved it in for today's thing, it just kind of rested against it. If I bring it too close, usually it pops. Oh yeah, Leah's got the best doggos. Oh yeah, I need a couple more plague doctor shirts to wear on streams and stuff. Do you need a band? I don't know that one. I would definitely listen to it though. Oh yeah, and if any of you guys know my accent, then there's definitely some pop there. I've got one that that I wear sometimes. It's more of a gentlemanly doctor, but I really need like a long coated one. It's good to know. Good to know. I'm gonna have to make sure it's a little bit further back. Usually, I try to keep it back for narrations because, like I said, otherwise it scratches against it and it makes a lot of weird noises. Oh, that's cool, Miss Babe. I like that. The old school ones are pretty cool. Mm. don't know if I'd call it a quirk, but sometimes there are words I definitely misspell on purpose because that's just it's on brand for me. Like there are definitely like if my account was ever hijacked and the grammar changed, there are definitely things people would pick up on. Like usually it's like messed up words because my thumbs are huge, so I get to typing. But I guess that's about it. I don't know. Grammarly has kind of taught me better grammar than what I had. So my uses of like commas and things have definitely improved some. But nah, like if there's ever a post and at least two words aren't misspelled or like in the wrong order, you'll know it's not me. Huh. It's good to know. Well, thank you. It's probably helped me with my narrations too if I kept it a little further back. I know I'm usually a little carefuler with my book narrations than I am with my channel narrations about getting the pop just right. Again, with my accent, I don't know, it pops more often than it should sometimes. That is pretty cool. Never thought about it, I guess. Fire away. Oh God. It's less of a roadmap, and I, I don't know. It's more like one of those kids' placemats with like, color crayon on it. Like I know where I want to get most of the time, but like the path to get there is sometimes kind of winding. Move that up just a little bit. Um, Generally, I start with a basic idea, and then I figure out where I want that idea to go to, and then like, the journey to get there is sometimes very Tolkien, but sometimes it's also very just down the road and to the left. It kind of depends. And I hope that answers some questions, but it's I don't know. I'm kind of like one of those idiot savants that Stephen King writes about a lot. Like I know what I'm doing and I know where I want to go, but like getting there is a lot of sound and fury sometimes. I mean, I've had to come to terms with the idea that my output is just, it's crazy. Like, I do, God, sometimes 5 new short stories a week. And people have told me, they're like, that is an insane amount of output. Like, there is no way you should be doing that kind of output. Um, but nah, it's just normal. Like, there's a new piece of short fiction 5 days a week on my channel. It's just something that I do. Like, I don't know how I do it. I don't know how it works. It just works, and I don't question it too much because I'm afraid it'll stop working. Ugh. Yeah, yeah. The writing muse just kind of hooks me to the back of his 4x4 with a chain and just sort of drags me along behind him. Oh, you want to sleep? No, we're not done yet. Get to writing, boy. And it's just sometimes it's a lot. Um, Strangely enough, I usually don't end up scrapping them. Um, I most of the time I'm writing something and I'm like, "Ooh, this is not going to be well received," or the subject matter here is not something people are going to want to read about. But then I remember every other time that I think that and people love it. So I just plow through it and people usually love it, which is weird, but that's how it works. um the closest to that I guess I've got is my fantasy writing career. I was kind of dissatisfied with the reception I was getting from the fantasy community, and that's about the time I found creepypastas. So I just started writing them instead, and the reception was so much better that I stopped writing fantasy almost entirely and just focused on horror. And it was a lot of fun. Dude, I get that. Yeah. Um, there are definitely story beats that I worry that YouTube is going to take down, whether I want to or not. But for the most part, I don't have a lot of them. Like Every now and again, like YouTube will get its feathers ruffled over something, but usually it's the no sleep community that I have to watch out for. Specifically the Reddit subreddit. Like I have to I'm still on like another 2 months of a 12-month ban from them, and I'm just trying to write it out because they've got the most eyes, but you know it's a problem for definite. They don't usually like what I'm putting together, and I don't usually like them. So you know it's just something we get over there. Hope that answers your question. Oh yeah, like totally. Um, no sleep has this weird perspective thing that I don't always respect because I think it's very limiting. Um, they don't like they don't like what they call emotional horror, and I like emotional horror. Like it's something that I mesh with. So I tend to write a lot of it. Trying to remember exactly what else. Um, I had put to them at one point. Um, I was like, look, if my brand of horror isn't real horror, then a lot of your earlier no sleep stories are also not real horror then, because I usually use that formula from like the old school time, like the old school stories. Like I'll use formulas like that. I will use stories along those lines, and they're like, that's not no sleep. I'm like, that's the foundation upon which your entire subreddit is built. Or I'll point out rules, and I'm like, so no sleep has this thing where rule number one is always every story is supposed to be real. Every story is supposed to be true. Period. But then there's another rule that basically negates it. I cannot remember which one it is. It's hang on, I'll look it up for you. It's dumb, but let's see. Just because I don't go there as often doesn't mean that I don't lurk because I still need stories sometimes. Let's see. Did I not get the right one? There it is. Trying to remember exactly what that rule is. I can't find it, but basically I had pointed out to them, I'm like, if all stories are supposed to be real, then this rule negates that. If this rule negates that, then rule number one does not exist. And essentially, all of the stories that are the foundation of your entire community fall apart. And they didn't like that, so they banned me for 12 months. Not the first time, but, you know, that's fine. I don't like them either. I feel like they're pigeonholing people, and I don't like that. I don't like when you're going to bully people with creative ideas just because they don't fit into your cookie cutter framework. Like, the horror community is a diverse bunch, and I think there's room for everybody in that community. I don't know. I'll get off my soapbox now, but it's just, I don't know. It's something I hate about that particular community. I feel it limits their writers a lot. And I don't like that. I don't like being limited. I like being allowed to just kind of do whatever I want to do. Like, I still post my stuff to several other subreddits, but I think even when my ban's over, I'm not going back to No Sleep. Like, I don't know. In a lot of ways, I don't think they deserve my stories. If you were to describe yourself as a coffee flavor, I don't know. I like to think of myself as black coffee because that's just that's how I take my coffee most of the time. But I don't know. I like a nice espresso as well. Espresso, sorry. I'm from like Possum Hollow, Florida, so like my accent's a little thick if I don't work on it. But yeah, no, I like a nice espresso or a nice black coffee. I'm kind of basic like that. I like to put a little ice in it that way I can drink it before noontime. Hello.
Oh, I didn't know you were. My bad.
Sorry about that. That's my wife. Yeah, I do a live stream every Tuesday and Thursday, dear. Okay. You're gonna get me kicked off of YouTube. Oh, she's a nut. She did not realize I was live. I mean, she's been outside with the chickens, so I get it. Oh yeah, I got 5 chickens and 1 hens. No, 5 chickens and 1 rooster. Sorry. I mean, you probably could. Like the Amish are pretty good about. I mean, you'd probably have to pay for it, but yeah, I'm sure they'd give you one. I'm sure they'd let you buy one. You got to be kidding me. What the heck? I just want to type my stories. Good lord, what is going on here? Yeah, yeah, I guess a couple of times, definitely. Um, I have this rule about not padding out stories. Like when the story's done, the story is done, and like that's it. I'll do I'll do follow ups sometimes, but like I'm always very clear on when it's done, it's done. And but like every now and again you get started on a story, and you're like, hey, this is pretty good. But like that's usually where I'm at with that. I'll sometimes sometimes the stories take on a life of their own, and you just have to let them. Trying to think of a specific occasion, but I'm coming up with a blank on that one. I'm coming up with a blank there, but well, now, I mean that some of that's easier to do than others because like my Friday stories usually take place in Kashmir, which is my Castle Rock. It's my own little created town that I do a lot of my story work in. And it's sometimes I'll put characters in there that I intend to use later, or background characters will take on a life of their own. I mean, I have like my established characters like Dr. Winters or Grandpa or John who works at the hospital or Sam and the guys at the botanical gardens, those kind of guys, like the people that you usually get a perspective on. But then, right now for my Wednesday stories, I've started just, highlighting certain members of the Kashmir community um, to sort of like, give them a spotlight and let people see and know them. Um, like here lately, it's been the graveyard keeper and the lady that owns the curiosity shop. Like they've got a budding sort of romance going. And then I've got the shadowy government agent who lives on the outskirts who's got something to do with the same girl. And it's a lot of like interweaving stories. And now some of that too, like I've got series. I've got about 12 to 13 series running right now. And some of my Monday stories get connected to Kashmir or to other stories, and it's just it's fun to see how they happen. One of the subjects of my Monday story, Richard T. Seraph, recently moved to Kashmir, um, so he connected his own story to Kashmir, and it happens a lot. Like there will be other stories that will eventually find their way into that world, and it's always neat when they do. It's always something kind of cool when it happens. That's high praise. I don't always like H.P. Lovecraft's politics, but I do like his stories and the worlds that he creates. Um, I don't know. I read a lot of Lovecraft. I read a lot of Stephen King. Um, Trying to think of who else I read pretty religiously. Like you can't see it from here, but I've got a whole like massive shelf full of Stephen King hardbacks. That's just what I collect. Like I love my Stephen King hardbacks. Um, but yeah, no, I ingest a lot of horror, and I like to have interconnecting worlds and interconnecting stories and things I can fall back on later, so that they all sort of mesh together after a while. I need I would need some wall space for that, Osiris, but don't think I haven't thought about doing it with a whiteboard. Like, just get my strands together so everybody knows what they're doing and where they're going. I don't like rule stories. I like the earlier ones, but I don't like the new ones. I feel like they're a little bit contrived. Like I really think people should come up with better rules than what they've got. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I worked at a weird arcade and here's a bunch of rules, or I just got a house and here's a bunch of rules. Not everything needs rules. Like, it's just, I don't know. It's a hill that I'll always die on. Like, I don't think a lot of them are very creative. And I think they deserve to be creative, but I don't think they are. I mean, right? Doing this. Oh, because the internet's out. Well, that would explain it. Well, guys, we might be about to lose the stream. My internet seems to be going in and out. I think it's coming back on. Yeah, there we go. Living out in the boonies, every now and again, you just kind of lose internet for a minute. Most of them, it's not even that they're trash, it's that they're repetitive. Like, come up with some unique rules. Like, don't just reuse rules that everyone has used. Like, it just, I don't know, it irks me somehow. Like, it's a reason I try not to write about established cryptids either. Like, I get it. Some people like them, but like every time I read a story and there's like a dog man or like a Sasquatch or like the Jersey Devil or the Mothman is in it, I just kind of roll my eyes. Like I'm starting to get that way with skinwalkers too and like wendigos. It's just I don't know, it's an oversaturation. Like I think it's time for some unique legendary creatures. Like the imagination is an interesting place. Make your own stuff. Like you don't have to go with established creations. Like, make up your own thing. If the lore's good enough, people will believe that you did it. Oil rig stories are always pretty interesting, I feel like. Like I feel like there's a lot of ground there and I feel like not a lot of people plumb those depths. And they should. Like there's a lot to do there. Yeah, exactly. Like I don't know. Like, I get it. Sometimes it's fun to play in the shallow end of the pool. It's safe, and all your friends are there. But, like, I don't know. Sometimes you can't be afraid to go out into the deep water. Sometimes you gotta dive down and find the stuff that nobody's found before. Like I've got about 3 or 4 stories I want to write about like South American and like Mexican folklore. Like they've got some really interesting like boogans down there. Not just La Lorna. Like she's cool too, but like there's all sorts of things you can do with that. And I just, I feel like I don't know, like they're not working to their potential there, you know? See, you know what I'm talking about then. Like there are some super creepy boogans that like put put so much of what we have to shame. Like, but nobody ever talks about them. A couple of years ago, I did a. It was Christmas horror, but it was about the Yule Lads, and people loved it. Like they ate it up. Um, and there's so many more cool legends and things like that that nobody talks about. Like it just, it's one of them, I feel like people need to branch out a little bit. Don't be afraid to write about, like lesser known things. Um Lesser known folk tales and things. I feel like there's definitely an audience for it and they would definitely appreciate it. Good to know. Good to know. Um I hadn't really intended to write about her. Like again, I feel like she's like everybody's heard of that one. I did one about Lala Chusa a few years ago. The Owl Witch, specifically how she hunts down drunks. Apparently, if you read, about the legends and stuff. There's another one. I think his name is El Cibone, who stalks women. That I would really like. I think it would make a really creepy story, and I'd be interested to see where I could go with it. Like it's I don't know. Like I said, there's so much there's just so much out there, you know? All right. Um, I'm looking for some new Christmas folklore this year. Ooh, one of my one of my favorite ones, and one that usually gets the most reads is Frau Perchta, which is like a French Germanic figure. Like she is a Father Christmas style figure. But like if you're bad, like she literally splits you open and fills you with garbage. Like just the visuals there. Um it's great. And a lot of people are like, I had no idea. It's like some of these guys you got to go looking. Like if you want great stories, sometimes you've got to be willing to do the legwork. Guilty. Alrighty. Oh, good. I was hoping that's who you were talking about. Sometimes you name drop old Nurgle, and people just kind of look at you like you're crazy. But nah, yeah, I've I do like me some Plague Marines there. Where is the? There it is. Alrighty, that's one story down today. Oh goodness, well guys, it's closing in on 11 o'clock. I think I'm gonna let you guys go get some lunch while I record a little something for later today. But I appreciate you guys coming to hang out and talk with me. It's always nice to have an audience. Um, I'll be back Thursday about this time if you want to stop by. So feel free to come by and hang out as I work on stuff and you guys ask me questions. Any rate, thanks for stopping by. It's always good to see you guys. Dr. Plague, signing off. Have a wonderful evening.